Welcome to Ital is Vital, your natural health and wellness stop. Hi everyone, this is Julie. Thank you for stopping by to share with me today. I hope you're having a fantabulous day and I hope it's all going well for you thus far. And I hope, of course, that you're focusing on self sufficiency because that will be important going forward. And I said that I would talk more about these things in other videos, and I will do so very shortly. I'm just in a state of, what would you say now? Like where I am, I have to leave very soon. So it's kind of been like that for me. I've been like caught in a loop kind of thing. So that has affected what I do at this point. So but in future I will be able to focus on just getting more regular content and also live streaming. That's something that I've wanted to do for some time. But anyway, one of my subscribers, um, Sophia, you know who you are, asked this question. She said, "Hi Julie, I appreciate your blacks at the top of the list to get vaccinated and most recently incentives. Can you please address Indian variants? I find it strange what's going on there. This can't be true. Why would why would India suddenly have this happen? Something is not right." And thank you very much for that question, Sophia, because the Indian situation is one that I have been meaning to address. One that I have been meaning to address, but have just had my focus, in so many different places lately. Um, and you're so true. This has happened so suddenly. Because if we remember, look at this headline here. Pardon me with this camera, right? I'll just read it. I'll just do a screenshot so you can see it. It says, and this was the 2nd of November 2020. It says, coronavirus. Are Indians more immune to COVID-19? So that was what was asked. And basically, I'm not going to read all of it, but just a little bit. The article goes on to say, and this was published by BBC, which is a propaganda network. I mean, they're like at the top of the list. The article says millions of people have limited access to clean water, consume hygienic food, breathe foul air, and live in densely packed surroundings. Researchers have found this makes them susceptible to a host of non-communicable illness like heart and chronic respiratory diseases, cancer, and diabetes. These contribute significantly to the disease burden, according to a government report. Air pollution alone kills more than 1 million Indians every year. This is according to BBC. And they go on in the article. Basically, what they're saying, and I'm just showing you this article to just show you that the situation in India just a few months ago, we're hearing, that was not the case. That was not the case. So here they are pondering how India has all these other problems, but the COVID situation wasn't hitting India as they thought it would. Then this one is February now. They say the mystery of India's plummeted COVID-19 cases. So this was some other story. It's last September, India was confirming nearly 100,000 new cases a day. It was on track to overtake the United States to become the country with the highest reported COVID-19 caseload in the world. Hospitals were full. The Indian economy nosedived into an unprecedented recession. So, but 4 months later, India's coronavirus numbers have plummeted late last month on January 26th, the country's health minister confirmed a record low of about 9,100 new daily cases in a country of nearly 1.4 billion. It was India's lowest daily tally in 8 months. On Monday, India confirmed about 11,000 cases. And if you notice, they focus on cases. At this point, they were talking about cases. You know why? Because it was easier for them to say cases. That is, you supposedly take the fake test, the test, and it's supposedly positive, right? We see what happened to the papa, we see what happened to the goat, okay, with the same test. They weren't these death numbers. They weren't manufacturing these death numbers with India at the time. And I remember I saw it was like every day when you check, because I just check to see what lies they're coming up with next. So I do check the news. So I was seeing all these talks about India every day. Why is India? Why is basically it's like they were saying, and the Western media was basically saying, why aren't people dying in India? Why this? Why that? Oh, Indian numbers are low. Why this, that, that? And I was saying to myself, wait for it. It's coming. The psyop is coming, because we have to remember what the aim of this is. This so-called vax, this jab. The aim is to get it in as many arms as possible. This is about part of it is about a depopulation agenda. India has a lot of people. There is no way they are going to want to not be able to give the people there the job on a large scale. But guess what? The people in India are very wary. They have had terrible experiences. Terrible experiences. They have been guinea pig. Many children have been damaged by jab that has been brought there and experimented on the children and adults alike. So the people are very wary, you see, about these jabs. So what do? You scare the hell out of people. You scare them so much that they will beg you for the jab. That's what they're hoping that they'll be able to do. Scare the people so much. And not just scare the people in India, but scare the people across the world. To say, look at what is happening there. Look how terrible this is. But here's the thing. Remember I told you, you're seeing this on the TV, the television. Now, there are several videos of Indians on the ground who are saying, no, that story that is being reported by the Western media is not true. It's not true. So you have, I don't know if you remember when they were in the US, when they were basically showing all kind of, they were basically showing some situations at hospital where it was overcrowded, a lot of people, and so many people they were dealing with because the situation was so bad and so on, and they were putting this in the media. And people, ordinary people like you and me, went out, took their phones and their cameras and filmed these hospitals. There was a popular hashtag on Twitter called Film Your Hospital. And what people would do was go to the local hospitals and actually film what was really, really taking place. And when you saw what the news was saying and what they were showing was not the same thing. So the media would be showing a hospital that is full and the doctors were working and this and that. And when local people went to film, wait, hospital empty, wait, practically nobody, wait, what's happening here? But we see this terrible situation on the news. Listen to me. As I said before, the world's a stage. The news production is like any other production. It's an extension of Hollywood. These people be out here using green screen, using actors, crisis actors they are called, crisis actors. These are people that you use. You'll be out there, they'll be holding their head, they'll be bawling, they'll be telling you that their mom died, their auntie died, listen, this is what is happening in a lot of instances. And the aim is to scare people so much that they would take the job. That's it. Because up until February is just a couple months away, right? I think up until March, even March or so, it was the opposite you were hearing. So in the matter of just, I don't know, maybe just several weeks, a few weeks or whatnot, the situation just flips. And all of a sudden, all that was not happening in India over the entire year suddenly started happening. Now that there is the push for the jab, it's all about the jab. And they will lie to you. They will lie to you. Listen, these people, listen. Okay, think about when you watch a movie. And sometimes you watch these movies and it's so real. You know, you see people be doing things like jumping from one building to another. You know that it's not possible, you know, in real life like that, right? But it is done in such a way in the movie that you literally, you know, it could be you actually watching somebody doing that. That's how real it feels. That's how real it looks because it just looks natural the way. They have all the technology. You see, it's a lot of acting that's happening. The television is there for a reason. It's there for a reason. This is why most people, you ask them, how many people you see falling to your left, falling to your right? None. But they see them on the television, though. They see the cases on the television. And let's not even talk about the case, because in India they were talking about the cases. They weren't even talking about deaths. You see, and we know that the cases, we know how fake those are. Because those who are doing the test, who are doing the results for these tests, can actually create the circumstances to get a positive result. If you notice with China, suddenly this supposedly, quote unquote, started with China and they claimed they were using the same test, etc. And you had these numbers, and all of a sudden, like overnight, it's like the numbers just fell off a cliff. What happened? They changed how they did the test. So this is just manipulation 101. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay? It's a psyop. It's a psychological operation. That's what they do to us. That's what has been done to us for a long time. And it continues. If you see it on the news, second guess it. Never take what comes on the news, especially these big media networks like the Foxes, the CNN, the BBC, etc. Because these institutions are where the most psyop take place. These people be wicked out here. You literally have to understand that these people be wicked out here. They have no regard for you. They have no regard for me. The aim is to get the jab in arms, as many arms as possible. As many arms as possible. That is the game. And they will do anything because they are so desperate and because they know they have done such a good job over the years whereby people believe anything that comes out of the news. And so, what are all these numbers about? Just remember that. It's the same thing that was done before. What was done before? A lot of the numbers we know that they were given regarding the so-called death rate, the death numbers were fake. We know that. We know that a lot of these numbers were fake. A lot of these numbers from past experience with countries across the world. We saw what happened in the United States. For those who are aware and paying attention, we saw what's happening in other places in Europe, etc. and in different places. So we know that the numbers they have been given are just, ridiculous numbers. And here's the thing is, what they want to say is, if they, because basically, how they have been doing it, if, for example, someone is on their deathbed, say they had some serious heart issues, and say they're on their deathbed, and say they do a so-called test, and that person was positive, and the minute before that person, die, that is counted as a case. Just remember that. Just remember that. You see. Just remember that. And also, we have heard cases where, instances where people have said they have. I remember I heard one case where a woman was, I think it was her and her mom went to do the test. I think this was somewhere in the U.S. And for whatever reason, they had to leave because I guess at that time, it was that time when a lot of craziness was going on and so on. So I guess the place may have been busy or whatnot. But anyway, she didn't do the test. They ended up leaving and said they'll probably go and do it another day or whatnot. And next thing you know, she got some kind of notification that she's COVID positive. But she's like, okay, but I didn't do the test though. So how come I'm positive? So we have to understand what these people are doing. So basically, whether that woman did the test, how many people were in that situation? They can tell us any number on TV. Any number on TV. They can just pull figures out of thin air. That's just the reality. You see. They show it on TV. And, people are not, if you go on the ground in India, that's not the experience of the Indian people. What you're seeing on the TV is only happening on the TV. And then we have to also understand what is happening because, even though a lot of the people in India will not take the jab, some of them will. And just remember that a lot of people are falling ill from those jabs. A lot of people, and I'm going to talk about that in a separate video because I realize that I've gone like so long with this. But I just wanted to tell you, have no fear. Have no fear. They pulled the same thing. I saw them pulling the same thing over and over again. Different. It's just India's turn now. It's just India's turn. And anywhere you have resistance, to the job, you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna have these type of situation. And sad to say, the people in governments, they're a part of this. Many of them are a part of this. The scientists, the doctors, all of them, many of them come in and, just reading their script and playing their part in the psyop. And, that is such a sad thing, you know, that people would do this. And you wonder how people do this to their own people. But people all across, they have been doing this. Across every people have been doing this to their people. You see, taking part in this wicked, evil systems plan. And whatever incentive, it's not worth it, because these people are so short-sighted. Even if they're getting money, they're just thinking for today. They're not realizing that their children and grandchildren have to live in the world that they create, the decisions that they make. Someone is paying you to participate in something like this. Why? I mean, I know sometimes people, because one of the things they do too, is sometimes target the vulnerable. Some people might be very needy. Yeah, they'll do for a few meals. But there's so much to say, but I'll just say this, don't be scammed by this. You know, it's not what it seems, because I've seen this played out before. It's not what it seems. And also, we have to bear in mind that this was done before. This is not the first time that this was done all across the US, especially we saw this in New York. New York was PSYOP City, man. Yeah, New York, New York. Yeah, they did a number in New York. They did a number in New York to fool the whole world. And we saw this. I saw this in the UK when I was there. I saw it unfolding. So just understand that they're just continuing to play the game. And they will continue and continue until they can pull in more victims and pull in more victims and pull in more victims. All the time, they basically take away our God-given rights. Our Creator did not create us to live in this. This is the beast system. We were not created to live in this. This is a world, all of us, every single one of us, are controlled in some way or not. A lot more than our ancestors were. They could explore the earth, go from point A to point B, no restrictions. Now look at what they're doing. So you see that they are creating a world in which they have created a world in which they control us to a degree I don't even think many people even realize. Many people actually think they are free. Many people think they are free. But as long as we live in this matrix, as long as we participate, myself included, we're not free. And the matrix has been supplanted atop our world in such a way that, it's even difficult for us to be able to navigate, even when you try to extricate yourself from it. But that we must do, and that must be our aim. And that is passed on to the children and their children, because this must stop. This must stop. And it can only stop when our minds are extricated from the control of these individuals. Everything they do is mind manipulation. That's where they start first. If they got you up there, they got you. You see. But anyway, I could go on and on, but I'm just going to stop now because anyway, guys, I hope you found this useful. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and be the change you'd like to see in this world. Have a fantabulous day today. Ta-ta! Welcome to Ital is Vital, your natural health and wellness stop.